Hi, my name is Jordan, and this is the first episode of Let's Fight Addiction. I was an addict for 11 years, but last month I celebrated my 4th year sober off of pain pills and heroin. I went to an outpatient program with a doctor. We used the Matrix Handbook every single time we went to group. And today I want to talk about the first lesson, which is breaking the cycle. If you are someone you know has any questions about addiction or just needs someone to talk to or needs an encouraging word, I can be reached at letsfightaddiction@gmail.com, one word, or you can comment here. The first lesson starts off with triggers. A trigger can be anyone, any place, anything really. For our example today, I'm going to use Friday after work when you get paid. If every single Friday after work you meet up with your friends, you go out to a club and you use stimulants, then your brain is going to know that, oh, it's Friday, it's after work, it's time to use. So the first thing you need to do is identify your triggers. Like I said, for today, we're going to use Friday after work for our trigger. Preventing exposure. If you can't help but buy drugs when you carry cash money. I know this was something I did when I first got sober. I wouldn't carry cash. I would carry a card that showed everything I did. So if that's one of your triggers, that's a good option for you to just not carry cash. If hanging out with a certain friend encourages you to use, don't hang out with that friend. If something doesn't work, try coping with it in a different way. The third step is coping with it in a different way. If you can't help but go out with friends on Friday night, schedule a doctor's appointment, schedule a meeting, schedule a workout for Friday evening. Anything you need to do just to fight the addiction and just to break the cycle. My strongest triggers were friends and money. That's just all there was to it for me. I had a very hard time hanging out with my friends that used. Whenever I decided to get clean, I had to break off contact with literally all of my friends because I've been using so long that all of my friendships were involved with drugs. The losing argument. Trigger, thought, craving, use. A lot of people think that you see a trigger and you go use, but there's really a sequence. You see something that's a trigger, or you have something that happened that's a trigger that triggers you to think about using. You continue to think about using, which leads to a craving. Cravings are really strong, and that's what leads you to relapse or using again. Your brain gives you permission in a relapse justification. Your sober brain and your brain that's addicted are arguing inside your head, and you have to come up with reasons to stay abstinent. It's not just going to happen. You can't just say, oh, I want to be clean. No, you have to make behaviors and have to work at getting clean. How often in the past has your substance dependence lost this argument? I cannot tell you how many times I lost this argument. Anytime I would see a trigger, I would have a thought about using, and it would continue, and then I would crave, and then you sit there and your stomach hurts and you're craving this drug and you're craving to feel better and the feeling you get from this drug, and you end up giving in, you go and use. So in this lesson we learn about thought stopping techniques, and I'm new to this, but I care very deeply about this. I'm sorry for the mistakes I make while recording, but a new sequence is required. Instead of trigger, thought, continued thought, craving, use, it should go trigger, thought stopping technique. Some people use a visual in their mind, like a visual switch, where they flip it off and they start a new thought with something that's not about using. That one didn't really work for me. The next method is snapping, where you wear a rubber band. When you start to think about it, you snap and you have another thought ready. Something that you enjoy, something to take your mind off of it. Some people snap and then go for a walk. Some people snap their wrist and then go work in their garden, take care of their animals, go for a hike. It's really endless what you can do. Relaxation. I use this one a lot. You'll get stomach cramps, you'll get feelings of sadness, heaviness, hollowness, and these are cravings, and they can usually be relieved by 3 deep, slow breaths, and then starting a thought pattern or thought process of something else. If those don't work, another one I used was have a sponsor or have a couple people that you know will answer when you call them. And you just call them, and sometimes it's just a word of encouragement that you need. And I know for myself, I used it a lot. And when I just couldn't stop the thought, and when I couldn't stop thinking about using, I would call someone that had been in that position before, and they would tell me something encouraging like, "You can do this. You can beat this." It's really simple. Sometimes all you need to hear is something positive. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you or someone you know needs an encouraging word, please message me at letsfightaddiction@gmail.com. One word, let's fight addiction. The last part of this lesson is scheduling. When you're an addict, our time is really all over the place. We spend most of our time waiting for someone to call us back, waiting for someone to text us back, waiting for money, waiting for a ride. It's a lot of waiting, which takes up the majority of our time, and we can't be counted on. So scheduling really helps you get a structure. If you can schedule 24 hours on paper and follow it, that's literally the first big step towards getting your life back together. And that's really all for today. Please leave any comments below if you have anything you want to hear about or any questions about my addiction or an addiction or someone you know that has an addiction or what to watch for. Please message it below. If you like this video, please like it and let me know. Everyone have a great day.